Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to Mohegan Sun Resort and Casino here in Uncasville, Connecticut. It is time for our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Main Events in association with Miller Lite and Showtime. Tonight's action, ladies and gentlemen, is sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribal Gaming Commission Athletic Unit with the Unit Chief, Jerry Boyle. Introducing to you our physicians at ringside, Dr. Michael Schwartz, Dr. Anthony Alessi, and Dr. Joseph Carpentieri. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Michael Murtha and Lisa Lear. Introducing to you our judges scoring this main event from ringside, from Oneida Castle, New York, Donald Ackerman. From Cromwell, Connecticut, Stephen Epstein. And from North Situate, Rhode Island, Robert Paolino. And our referee in charge, once again from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, Charles Dwyer. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing and a heavyweight special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Mohegan Sun, it is showtime. Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing green trunks with white lettering, fighting out of and hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 236 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to Mohegan Sun Resort and Casino here in Uncasville, Connecticut. It is time for our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Main Events in association with Miller Lite and Showtime. Tonight's action, ladies and gentlemen, is sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribal Gaming Commission Athletic Unit with the Unit Chief, Jerry Boyle. Introducing to you our physicians at ringside, Dr. Michael Schwartz, Dr. Anthony Alessi, and Dr. Joseph Carpentieri. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Michael Murtha and Lisa Lear. Introducing to you our judges scoring this main event from ringside, from Oneida Castle, New York, Donald Ackerman. From Cromwell, Connecticut, Stephen Epstein. And from North Situate, Rhode Island, Robert Paolino. And our referee in charge, once again from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, Charles Dwyer. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing and a heavyweight special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Mohegan Sun, it is showtime. Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing green trunks with white lettering, fighting out of and hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 236 pounds. His record stands at 30 wins, 10 losses, 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is known as the Front Street Bad Boy. Introducing Terrence K.O. Lewis. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round main event, wearing solid white trunks and hailing from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He weighed in at a ready 226 pounds. His outstanding record includes 23 wins, only 1 loss, with 17 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the explosive contender known as the Black Rhino, introducing Clifford Etienne. Once again, a referee in charge, Charles Dwyer, now to give instructions. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled.
All right, gentlemen, you both know the rules. Let's have a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. These trunks are a little high. Right in here is good. Clifford, your trunks are okay. Gentlemen, touch gloves. Good luck.
Two big, strong former sparring partners who can punch. Etienne, a fast-starting, high-volume banger who keeps the pressure on. Lewis, a free-swinging slugger who will probably be headhunting. Etienne's best weapon, the left hook. Lewis favors the straight right. Both have one-punch knockout power. Lewis has been on both ends. There's the bell, round one. It's scheduled for 10. Etienne in the white, Lewis in the green. It says Kelvin on the left sleeve of the trunks of Terrence Lewis, a tribute to his brother who passed away.
Little footnote too, in some of his better performances, Lewis was down in the 230s. His lesser performances up in the 240s and 250s. He's back in the 230s. Let's see if we can expect some good action.
Etienne giving up 5 inches in reach to Lewis, so look for Etienne to try and get inside on Lewis, who doesn't move a lot like Oquendo. Lewis pretty much right there in front of you to be hit, and Etienne can hit. But will Etienne be tested again? Will he have the same difficulty we saw in the Oquendo fight? Will Lewis target the temple and the side of the head, knowing Etienne's vulnerability against Oquendo?
You talked about the fact that Lewis might be a headhunter, Steve. Well, after watching the Oquendo fight, you got a guy who's built like this, as thick as this. Why bother going to the fight when you've seen headshots drop him 7 times in one fight? I clearly agree with the headhunting in this fight.
And those shots made Etienne's legs turn to jelly. He just couldn't regain his balance, so why wouldn't Lewis try the same thing? We'll see. Etienne spinning Lewis around, but no damage. Etienne said look for more variety from him, more leg movement. Feinting the jab, just a better all-around arsenal.
I was just noticing Etienne's moving a lot more with his legs, maybe even too much. He's much more effective with this type of fight to push Lewis back to the ropes, keep his back on ropes, pin him there and leave him there, and not leave himself open to his long right-hand leads.
Well, Etienne told us, despite what happened with Oquendo, down repeatedly from shots to the head, he has solutions for Lewis. Here comes Lewis, turning it up. Big right hands to the head. Etienne comes right back, digging into the body and head.
One of the best assets I think that Etienne possesses is his ability to throw so many punches as a heavyweight. I think he should not take away from that by boxing and moving, showing movement.
Etienne with some solid left hooks, a wild swing and a miss.
Stop punching, right clean.
On a right by Lewis.
2 or 3 of those right hands by Lewis have landed. Etienne showing no ill effects as of now, but he can't afford to keep that left hand down like that. It's just bad judgment.
We approach 40 seconds remaining in the opening round, scheduled for 10. Etienne in the white, Lewis in the green. That jab sending Lewis back. Nice right hand to the top of the head. Well, Lewis is headhunting. No question.
Headhunting. As his head's getting tagged as well.
As is Etienne.
Let him out. Good.
Oh, and Etienne coming in with his head.
And they slammed heads, and you saw just now, as you turned away, Steve, that Lewis was holding his head like the headbutt.
And the referee didn't miss it. Charles Dwyer said something to the Rhino. Again, a wild miss at the bell by Lewis with the right. Lewis just loading up and telegraphing.
Yeah, that's how it's right here. Yeah, I know it. Don't worry about it. Good job. Give him some more. Give me some more. Give him some more. Good job. Good job. All right, let's.
Gotta keep your hand
Look for the left hook to the body, back to the chest. You'll be on this right side, all right?
Rinse the mouth out.
Okay?
Right there. Spit it in here. Spit it in here.
Sorry.
A little bit. Give him a little more. A little bit.
Etienne on the inside working nice. See him pushing Lewis back, working that uppercut. Beautiful right uppercut and a left hook, both landing pretty clean. And eventually, as is the case in this game many times with one aggressor, they bang heads and slam right there, right into each other. You watch Lewis hold his head. There he is holding his head, and hey, that hurt.
Round 2. Clifford Etienne touches gloves with Terrence Lewis, and we continue. J.C. Davis doing the talking in Etienne's corner these days. Used to be Jack Mosley, and they go right at it.
Work out of it. Your hands are free.
And I'll tell you what, I thought when Etienne was moving, even though he was showing some nice movement, I thought that was when he was getting lesser things done. He was getting hit more, tailing that long looping right hand by Lewis like that.
Best sequence for Lewis here. A left hook to the temple. And Etienne has Lewis doubled over. He was caught in the ropes.
He just leaned out of the ring.
Yeah, he wasn't hurt.
Escape, I'll tell you.
He had nowhere to go.
I think that Etienne needs to back Lewis up and push him back, keep him going backward. That way he'll not only negate the power, but offensively he'll increase his.
And these punches seem even harder than in the first round, particularly Etienne. You can see the difference in experience Terrence Lewis has over Etienne. 203 rounds to 92, as mentioned. 10 years in prison for Etienne for armed robbery. That set him back, but he learned to fight behind bars. He also took advantage of an educational program and became a Dean's List guy at Southern U. Minute and a half left in round 2.
I think Etienne needs to work in behind his jab more. Try throwing his straight right hand, not looping it so much. Might be a little more effective. It's quicker and sometimes a whole lot more powerful.
Etienne in the white, a self-proclaimed nerd in high school.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting when he said that.
I think he grew out of that, though. Etienne jumping on Lewis.
Here's where Etienne is most effective. Outworking people, forcing that attrition factor to become a factor, and fighters just absorb so much.
Big right hand there, chopping right on Lewis's jaw, and Lewis looks over at his corner.
Stop punching, right clean.
And he blinks his eyes, saying he's all right.
Actually, what he was doing was winking at his corner because he heard the instruction, which was push him back. They have the same ideas. When you push the rhino back, he becomes susceptible to those long looping right hands, and it also lessens his power coming forward.
Now Etienne takes a big step back, regroups, and goes to the body. And says something to Lewis.
Let him loose.
They're talking to each other.
I thought that was against the rules.
I don't know how anybody can understand anything with the mouthpiece.
You'd be surprised what we can utter with those things in.
You know, I wish you'd take yours out now, by the way. Just kidding.
Okay.
And that'll do it for round 2.
Deep breath, calm the heart.
Okay. You need more punches. Hands up. You're dropping your hands, though.
Your right hand is beating to the punch, Steve. You waiting.
Okay.
Drop the right hand if you got to go 1, 2, 1, 2.
Black Rhino was back on ropes here in the white trunks, going to spin out, start punching Lewis to the right and onto the body. Here you see him, he just sort of, well, he doesn't really push him. Lewis kind of bends through the ropes on his own. Less of a push than it looked like. Here's a combination behind the jab, working his way up on the inside, double hook. Right hand misses, but staying to the body with a nice combination. Etienne being busy, this is how he's effective. Heavyweight that throws a lot of punches.
And plenty of support here for Terrence Lewis, his lovely wife Kai, and son Terrence Jr. on hand. Rooting Daddy on. There is Terrence Lewis, 30 and 10, 20 knockouts. 29-year-old out of Philadelphia. Seldom put in easy bouts, and this is not an easy one as well.
Etienne just leaped in with a terrific left hook. Caught Lewis napping.
Etienne turning on the pressure. He's got Lewis where he wants him against the ropes, pushes him back there, and a right hand by Lewis. But back comes Etienne, who's in control. But Lewis comes back.
Lewis is punching back, but those are arm punches. His backs to the rope is not real effective. He has no leverage. This is all Etienne's advantage.
Etienne's punches landing more powerful. Lewis spits out some blood. Etienne 23 and 1, 17 knockouts, rated number 11 by the WBC. His lone defeat to Frezo Kendo a little over a year ago. Now Lewis Turns Etienne around. Now back comes the Rhino.
This is the pace I was talking about. With Etienne, he likes to keep a heck of a pace. Most heavyweights cannot keep this brisk pace.
Bruising affair. Lewis doing a lot of missing. Etienne scoring. Another wild swing and a miss. A left hook attempt by Lewis. A right hand that goes awry. Blood coming out of the mouth of Lewis.
And you see Etienne using a different jab to a power shotgun style jab, stuffing it in Lewis's face, being very effective.
Lewis with a heavy overhand right to the head. These little short, crisp uppercuts are getting in there by Etienne, right on the chin. I'll tell you what, Lewis is just looking for that home run punch. Left-right combination to the head by Lewis.
Not a power punch combination, though. Quick point getters, but nothing serious.
It didn't do anything to Etienne.
He's looking to set up that wing and right hand, is Lewis. I can see him starting to cock it. Hasn't had a chance to throw it yet.
There's a free work.
Etienne digging to the body, then going upstairs again with Lewis against the ropes.
Big body shots right there. And I see Terrence lose his legs buck a little bit. I don't think he has a choice but to step against these ropes. He might have to go down if he did. The ropes, he's using the ropes as support and leverage.
Big, heavy punches by the Rhino.
Here's a free. There you go. Watch your heads, guys.
But Lewis is durable. Etienne with a series of lefts, upstairs and down. Look at that. Mostly left hands by Etienne. Now using the right, hammering away. Finally, Etienne stepped back at the end of the round. Big round for the Rhino.
Set him up with a jab. He can't land his right hand because you double him. Sit down. Breathe deep. Listen to me. The will to win is greater than anything. You stay on it. You keep putting that pressure. Give him the water. Keep that pressure.
We're going to watch the Black Rhino. He's staying out here. Terrence puts out some jabs. He dips and bleeps in with a big left hook and crushes Terrence, really starting that rally. There you see the left. And he'll throw another little short one right behind it, right there. That started the rally. Big left hook. A lot of blood starting to come out of the mouth of Terrence Lewis. Lewis winging that right hand, trying to land home. The second one, not really as firm, but the Rhino keeping the pressure on. Hooks to the body, hooks to the head. Here he does an under and over, only reverse it over and under. Very effective. Sometimes the guy's expecting to punch to the body first and throws to the head first. 7 of Lewis's 10 losses by knockout. Etienne looking to make it 8. Round 4. We talked about one of the keys to victory, about the pressure for Etienne to keep the pressure on, outwork him, and he kept the pressure on there. He kept the fighting close where he's more comfortable. He's not on the long ends of those winging shots. And here he goes, work his way right back in, keeping the pressure on, outworking Lewis. That's how he's winning the fight. High work rate, as advertised by the Rhino. Etienne setting the pace for round 3. Blood first appearing from Lewis's mouth a minute 20 into the third, as a result of a couple of combinations that scored directly. And Etienne picks up where he left off.
Work, gentlemen.
The average length of bouts, Etienne gets him out faster. Just part of the deceiving problem with those statistics are that the 4-point-whatnot rounds for Terrence Lewis, sometimes he's on the short end of that. Etienne's only been on the short end one time. Lewis has lost 10 times. 7 by stoppage. As we mentioned, yep. But he's got heart. He stands right in there against Etienne. Etienne gives him some breathing room for the first time in a while. Midway round 4.
Here's a free. Come on.
Scheduled for 10.
There you go. Work.
Etienne again getting the better of that exchange. But Lewis's game. But Etienne's doing a number on Lewis's head with lefts and rights. He's showing some good leg movement. He's stepping around Lewis and firing his combinations, and now he's back to being the aggressor.
He keeps a tremendous pace, but it's the type of pace where you have a round like the last one, where he's just unloading all around. You can't do that every round. You just can't.
Good.
He has to pace himself somewhat.
Etienne in good shape, 226, down 5 pounds from his last fight. His last 4 were knockouts, but against journeyman.
Good.
Lewis a bit of a step up in opposition from the previous 4 after the loss to Okendo.
Work out. There you go.
Lewis checking in at 236, down from 250 his last fight, so he trained hard for this one.
Even though Etienne slowed the pace down a little bit here, he showed some decent defense. He hasn't really absorbed much punishment. Still winning the round, just not as convincingly as he did the last round.
Replay, step back. Good.
Etienne continues to dictate the tempo. And round 4 in the books. Well, as usual, we invite Showtime subscribers with internet access to visit our website at show.com. Quickly becoming the go-to website for boxing opinion and information with some of the best-known writers in the sport. In addition, you can find out more about your favorite Showtime original programming and series. Once again, the address is show.com. That's SHO.com.
Terrence, you got to shoot that right hand down, baby. You're missing him with. Shoot it down, man, down. How much better can I tell you?
All right.
Shoot it down when he's in front of you. With your body weight. Shoot it down.
You know what I'm saying? Pump your jab, dig right here and slide.
You got to touch him.
You got to win these rounds.
Right here, one go here, or you shoot it here and then back downstairs.
Sit there.
We need rounds now, baby. We need rounds. You understand me?
You got to win.
Gary Nicholson in the corner of Terrence Lewis, J.C. Davis with Clifford Etienne as we hit round 5.
See Lewis's corner taking a page out of the Okendo fight. Punch down at the top of his head. Punch down. Put all your weight behind it. They watched Okendo do it. Dropped Etienne 7 times.
7 times. He had been dropped only once prior to that fight, Etienne.
Oh, cut him loose.
And Lewis obviously has absolutely no quit in him. He's still coming. He's still swinging. He's absorbed a lot of punishment, especially to the body and on the inside. He came to fight.
Smacking left hook to the jaw by Terrence Lewis. Etienne.
Well, you know what, Steve? That's what it was, a big smack. He didn't throw a good left hook there. It was a big, wide open hand smack.
It didn't really rock Etienne or anything like that. A series of lefts upstairs by the Rhino, and then he digs to the body. And he spins him around to put him against the ropes. He pins him again. Dave DeRocher from FightNews.com, Mike Noski from SecondsOut.com, Terry Price from the Hartford Courant, seeing it all Etienne, exactly the same score.
I concur.
Break, please.
Everyone there.
Our press row scoring. Approaching the midway point of round 5, scheduled for 10. Clifford Etienne, the black Rhino in the white trunks. Terrence Lewis in the all green. Etienne 23-1, 17 knockouts, rated number 11 by the WBC, was number 4 until the Okendo fight, which he was knocked down 7 times and lost an 8th round TKO. Terrence Lewis, 30-10, 20 knockouts, unrated.
Very clean. Good.
Etienne out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Lewis from Philadelphia. Lewis peppering with the left jab, but not following with the right.
Now you watch a lot of Lewis's power shots or looping shots that aren't really thrown with the body. A lot of arm punching. Now it's okay to loop a shot, but you have to do with your body behind it as a corner. Put your body behind it, not just big long arms, because you know it's a 7 or 8 pound arm grenade, so that's not gonna hurt. 240 pound man is gonna be different.
Lewis loading up, and you can see it coming. So Etienne able to block it or counter, or both. Now Etienne again walking Lewis into the corner. Or right uppercut just grazed the chin of Etienne.
You know what? Etienne was walking him back to the corner without throwing punches, and he left himself open to almost get hit with that right uppercut because he wasn't throwing punches.
That was dangerous. But Etienne comes back. Combination to the head.
Beautiful rising hook, half uppercut.
Keep him up, Cliff.
And Lewis now leaning on Etienne. Perhaps starting to feel the a cumulative effect of all these punches, and it's a lot of punches. Right uppercut that just jarred Etienne just before the bell.
Well done. Good.
Breathe deep. You're looking very good. Say when. Look, he's a real. You got to turn him like you said when you're over there.
Take a breath.
All this hard work, let's make it pay. Let's make it pay. Combinations to the side.
I want to show you what I was talking about, that slapping left hook. As Terrence Lewis comes in, he's going to throw a left hook, and it's going to land. But see, you see, it's wide up. When he hit, it's all here, and it's open. He landed it over here, and it was open, and that's just not a good punch. It's not a crisp punch. It's not the front of the glove, inside the gloves. You can get laced that way, but not really effective.
Let's go.
At the end of the round, both fighters looking a little bit tired. Not doing an awful lot on the inside. Nobody being very effective, but Lewis trying to press forward. His corner keeps telling him, push Etienne back.
We're halfway through unofficially, Bobby. You have it.
I have it a shutout. I think that Etienne's clearly done more work, landed the better punches, landed the bigger, harder punches, been the effective aggressor for the vast majority of the fight.
Is he doing enough to change people's opinions of him, Bobby?
I don't think so yet. I'm not too sure yet, because not a lot of people are going to give tremendous amount of credit to a guy that's 30 and 10 who's been stopped 6 times or 7 times. And you know what? That's a big problem.
Etienne right in the center of the ring, wailing away, throwing the jab. And it's getting between the defense of Terrence Lewis. Etienne looked very impressive prior to the Okendo fight, outpointing the more polished, well-skilled boxer mover, Lawrence Clave, the 96 Olympian. That made his performance against Okendo all the more intriguing.
Well, the Clave fight was sort of his coming of age. That announced him. That was his credit card, or his calling card, rather. That was what got him in there. That's what got him in the door.
Well, Clave may have made the mistake of fighting too much on the inside instead of keeping the Rhino at bay and working from a distance. Here's Terrence Lewis with a series of shots. Back comes the Rhino.
Well, Lewis is trying to do what his corner's telling him. He's trying to push Etienne back, which is smart, move him backward, take him out of his game, work him behind the jab, and try and land that right hand. Where he's trying, but I don't think he has enough power in it anymore.
Put your heads, guys. Come on.
Etienne leaning on Lewis. Etienne opens up now, getting that second win.
See, when Etienne uses that jab, see how much more effective he is? Stuffs that jab 2-3 times as opposed to those big leaping shots.
Etienne almost went down with a miss. I think that happened once in the Okendo fight.
Stop punching. Break clean.
Lost his balance. Every once in a while he gets careless like that. Here comes Lewis. The biggest shot was a right hand to the top of Etienne's head, but this time he's staying up. Not like the Okendo fight. Right uppercut to the jaw, but a glancing blow by Lewis. He's got to hit that more solidly. Again, Lewis loading up, and Etienne having time to get out of the way.
Break clean. Good.
Lewis a little busier, determined here now.
Much better round for Lewis.
But now being pushed back, Lewis, by the jab. A very stiff jab by the Rhino. Combination of the head by Lewis, but it doesn't seem to phase Etienne.
Come on, we need more. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, baby.
You're giving this fucking fight away. We need more from you. You understand? Throw some fucking punches.
How fucking strong you are than he is.
He's hurt. You
He's hurt. You hit him. He pop out the pocket. He walk around.
You gotta go after him now.
Let's go. You're too strong for this. Come on.
You got this kid, man.
Black Rhino's doing some things differently, stepping around. You see his defense is a little sharper. In the inside, you see him stepping around, doubling the hook up, working around, being a little different defensively. Here's an overhead view. Just being a little sharper defensively, stepping around, keeping his hands up, stepping out, getting out of harm's way. And Lewis, to his credit, has no quit in him. He swings that right hand, comes in, And in this particular sequence, even though it doesn't land real clean, he outlands the Black Rhino, and I think wins at least that combination. I gave him that round too.
Lewis getting the Newt Rockney speech in his corner from Gary Nicholson and Jimbo Espadulli. Round 7. Lewis has gone past 6 13 times. 4 of his last 5 have gone into the 7th or more. He's 9-4 in those fights. No knockouts past round 6. But in the Lewis corner, they think that Terrence Lewis is ready to take Etienne out, that Etienne is ready to go, that he's hurt. We'll see. Oh, what a powerful right hand by Etienne that staggers Lewis. And Lewis is in deep trouble.
If you watched right before that, Etienne did a little sort of a feint, sort of a wobble, and he lulled Lewis into dropping his hand, and he leaped him that right hand counterpoint.
Lewis on some unsteady legs here. The Rhino with a barrage. The referee, Charles Dwyer, watching very closely.
Keep him up, Cliff.
Left hook to the head by Etienne. Another sweeping left hook.
Get your heads.
The Rhino trying to end it here. Oh, big right hand upstairs by Etienne.
That right hand might have been worse than the first one.
Throwing it all out there now, the Rhino. Everything's connected.
I'll tell you what, the referee's close to stopping, and Lewis just started punching back.
Hey, stop punching. Quickly. Quickly.
He is one tough Philadelphia fighter in green, Terrence Lewis, being smothered by Etienne.
There's a half a round still left.
Lewis fighting back despite the onslaught. You got to give him a lot of credit. Tremendous heart.
There's no quitting Lewis, that's for sure. He is true to form from Philadelphia, let me tell you.
Etienne continues to wail away. Look at Lewis.
And Lewis lands 2 nice right hands. Grins at him and growls at him and says, here, take that with you.
Lewis's corner screaming at him to get off the ropes.
Stop punching. Quickly. Good.
Instead, he just grits his teeth at the Rhino. You got to wonder, what does Lewis have left? Taking an amazing amount of punishment.
Etienne waits for some of those punches too, hitting a lot of gloves, threw too many wildly, and I don't think really harnessed his energy as well as he could have.
Lewis perhaps hoping the Rhino just punches himself out. This must seem like a long round, and Terrence Lewis still has 15 more seconds. A low blow by Lewis.
Lewis hit him real south, very south of the border.
Terrence, over there.
And they go to the neutral corner.
Let me know when you're ready. Now keep him up. Come on. Come on. You okay?
Probably more out of frustration than anything. And now the final seconds of round 7.
Time!
The wife of Terrence Lewis, Kai, watching her tough, rugged husband perform.
Put this stuff together. He hit you with the overhand. I'm telling you to hit him the fuck with when he jab. You're playing with your jab, man. You gotta fire that jab.
He's been there before, Doc.
Fire your jab,
Doc, he's good.
You hear me say you're taking too many punches. They're going to stop this fight if you don't punch. That's just the doctor just said. The doctor just...
Etienne lulls Terrence Lewis into just getting relaxed. See him look, just ducks right over, takes a right hand right over the top, ducks underneath, and that really hurt Terrence Lewis. You see him, I mean, he heads all the way back to the ropes, using the ropes as a support system to stay up. Here becomes a better right hand on the inside too. And you can see his legs almost come out from under him there. If the ropes aren't there, he actually goes down. And then we'll see what saves Terrence at the end of the round. Lewis takes one south of the border. Right there, 1, 2, 2. Oh, a 2-punch combination. I know that had to hurt.
You can hear in the corner of Lewis telling the ringside physician, Dr. Schwartz, he's been hurt before. We've been here before, as they prolong the action. Round 8, scheduled for 10. Lewis used to fighting a lot of rounds. In fact, 7 of his last 8 fights have gone into the 8th. But unfortunately for him, he's only 5-3 in those fights. Etienne. Oh, back comes Lewis out of nowhere, and that sends the Black Rhino back.
And you notice the Black Rhino, even though he's got his hands down, which I think is a terrible thing for him to do, he's moving side to side, giving some movement with his feet and his entire body defensively, which is an asset, something he has definitely improved upon.
Terrence Lewis, who feels he's only got a couple of years remaining in his career, so this is a do-or-die situation for him. He feels very maligned by the politics of boxing, feels he's been robbed of many victories that have turned into defeats. He wants to get involved teaching mentally challenged children after he is done with the sport of boxing, but he is really full of heart.
Two drastically different professions, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Work, gentlemen, work. Don't hold.
He is a warrior.
Free work.
Clifford Etienne perhaps wondering to himself, how is this guy still standing?
Well, there you see some of the fatigue. Both fighters throwing some lazy punches out there.
Both exchanging heavy blows toe to toe. Etienne wondering, what do I have to do to put this guy down? No knockdowns.
Etienne's actually using his jab a little better in this fight than he had with Kendo. Not running in and diving in amateurishly. Using some better defense on the way out. Still coming out with his hands down there. Not a good thing.
This is the round Etienne lost to Okendo. The eighth. Big left hand to the head by Etienne. And that just stopped the man in green in his tracks. A wild left hook attempt by Lewis. And a lot of air. Body shot there by Lewis. They want Lewis from the corner to throw more punches, but he's fatigued.
The Rhino's definitely fatigued too. You can see the pop in his punches is less. He still seems to be throwing a little harder than Lewis, a little more crisp like that, but there are a lot less of them than we were witnessing earlier.
Etienne with a nice head fake, moving to the left and then firing the right that connects upstairs. Final seconds, round 8. And a bruising back. Right upside the head by Lewis, and now left to the head at the bell, and a shoulder and an elbow for good measure.
Come on, come on.
Terrence Lewis trying to throw anything he can at Etienne.
I'm with him mouthpiece.
Say, man. Okay, hold on. The man about the fucking elbow with his rep.
Put your arm in your lap. Put your arm in your lap.
Hey, rap. Every fucking time with that left hook, man.
Listen to me.
One of the things I keep talking about, look at his arm. His arm is down. The left hook comes right in here, bang. Right in here, bang. Getting him on the inside. He's got to pick that hand up. He drops it again. There's the left hook. He just keeps throwing. There it is again. 2 clean left hooks, and he doesn't pick the hand up. Very end of the round, with his back to us, Etienne once again is going to wind up getting hit with left hooks. There's the right hand. He's got the right hand down. Here comes the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an elbow. Take that for good measure. He's got to pick those hands up. He can't come out like that. That's how people get knocked out on the tail end of long punches. Hands down.
Rhino very upset with the elbows and shoulders there. It's not just been the end of the round. He's been complaining throughout to the referee. Etienne very upset with some of the tactics, the roughhouse tactics of Lewis.
Good.
Round 9. It's scheduled for 10. Oh, nice left hand by Terrence Lewis that got into the head.
And the Rhino's not picking up his right hand. The left hook's getting home time and time again. And his output now has become significantly less as we notice that fatigue is setting in.
Lewis looking for some drama here. Black Rhino ahead on points. Let's check. After 8, our press row scoring. They've all got Etienne ahead.
I have it 78-73, so that's all in the ballpark there. That's all in the ballpark, give or take one close round.
I guess Terry Price had it the closest. Terry from the Hartford County.
Break me. Good, good.
Less than 2 minutes remaining, round 9.
Don't hold, work out of it. There you go.
Some nice right hands to the head by Etienne. relaxing blow there, but Etienne with that work rate up again.
Starting to throw more punches, but early in the round, he was looking very, very tired.
Hey, stop pushing. Break clean.
Yet Lewis seems determined, despite the punishment being dished out by the Rhino.
Come on, guys. Come on. Keep it clean. Back up.
The Rhino has to keep his hands up if he wants to expect to get on further with the big heavyweight to the big punches. Some are quicker, some are better bangers than Lewis. He keeps his hands way too low, taking things for advantage, and he's not doing it.
Etienne doing it with the accumulative effect. Lewis trying to end it on one punch. He is looking for the home run ball. Etienne again getting Lewis where he wants him, up against the ropes and firing to the midsection.
Right now, I think what he's doing is just looking to smother the punches of Lewis. He's a little tired. He's looking to buy some time.
Oh, big left hand to the head by Lewis that stuns the Rhino. Another one.
Same left hook. He's not picking the hand up.
He's waiting for the right, and he's eating the left hook.
We illustrated that earlier. He keeps leaving the right hand there. And Lewis said, okay, you're going to leave it there when it hits the door.
Whoa, hey. Listen up. Come on.
20 seconds left of the night, and Terrence Lewis had the Rhino in some difficulty.
Watch your head, Clifford.
Lewis just flailing away, hoping anything connects. He's desperate.
Time! Good. Well done.
Brother, man. Give me that ice bag. Come on. That motherfucking thing, man.
Listen to me. He's still a big, strong, goofy motherfucker. You got
Watch this. Etienne, he leaves this hand down. And what does happen? Terrence Lewis just lands a left hook right on the jaw. He leaves that hand down. Keep it down and watch what happens. There it is. Hurt him big time. 2 or 3 more left hooks later in the round. But watch it again. He just keeps the hand down and right through. Just whips it right around that dropped right hand. He's got to keep his hands on the cheek. Keep it tight.
Beat the shit out of him, this man. Don't you stop.
Don't stop.
He's finished. Do you hear me? You got to go after him. He's finished.
Clench your teeth down. You let that air come out your nose, look at the snot, blood, let it out.
Come on.
Terrence Lewis's wife, Kai, they're pleading with Lewis in that corner as we enter round 10. This could be wild. Lewis does have 2 late knockouts against Ed Mahone and Robert Davis in the 9th. What's going to happen here in the 10th? He had the Rhino in trouble the last round.
Work out of it, gentlemen. Don't hold. Come on. Cut him loose. There you go.
Lewis going for broke.
He walked into 2 shots there. See, that's another thing about going for broke. You walk in with your hands down instead of catching somebody, you get caught.
A left hand by Lewis. That sends Etienne to the corner turnbuckle.
It's funny, Lewis grabbed the rope and held that kid in the corner.
Come on. We'll hold the rope.
And that's what he's being warned about by Charles Dwyer. You're right, Bobby. Oh, my goodness. Roundhouse right by Lewis, but going nowhere.
Hey, stop punching. Break clean. Break clean. Don't hold. Come on.
Minute gone by in the 10th. Going the distance. Etienne 3 times, Lewis 5. He's lost 2 of those 5. Lewis, Etienne undefeated. Now Etienne staying away, which is probably the wise thing.
I was going to say, Steve, that's smart. He's ahead. He doesn't have to force the fight. He won the majority of the fight.
It's not the popular move as far as the crowd is concerned.
Hey, listen
and
up.
it never will be.
Break clean.
But
Come
they're
on.
not, you know, they're not in Etienne's corner.
All Etienne really has to do here is jab. Stuff the jab. Come in with the right hand. Don't pull out with your head up in the air like that.
Etienne should be well ahead on the cards, and it would behoove him to stay away from Lewis.
Defensively, Etienne has still got a lot to work on. He's pulling out his hands down on a regular basis. He's not learned how to harness his energy well enough for a long fight. I mean, here he's got almost nothing left, and Lewis has been beat on all night. He's got plenty left.
But yet, Etienne giving the crowd what they want as he does come forward and throws punches. We approach the final minute. Lewis needs a dramatic knockout.
Puncher. Come on.
And believe me, he's trying. Like that. That one was from downtown Norwich, Connecticut.
I'll tell you what, it might even been south of the whole state.
Not even sure Norris has a down.
You could have sent a letter from Norris, Connecticut, but got here first. That was a very wide telegraph punch. And the simple thing here, Etienne, all he has to do is step forward with the jab, tuck his chin behind his shoulder, and Lewis can't hit him with that looping right hand. Can't be done.
Amazingly, no knockdowns in this fight. But boy, Lewis has been in some kind of trouble. Less than 20 seconds left of the fight. It's been a bruiser as advertised. It's been all Clifford Etienne, but one heart by Terrence Lewis.
Well done. Good fight.
It goes the distance, and the crowd showing its appreciation. Kai Lewis, the wife of Terrence, looking on with a lot of concern.
Good fight, baby. I tried, dog. You did it, baby. Put your hands up. You did it. Woo!
Terrence Lewis just yelling out, what a relief that this one's over.
Sparring probably wasn't quite that
Time to have me
difficult.
back. I think I won. Look.
Well, I don't know about that, Terrence, but you showed a lot of courage.
And he closed the gap quite a bit toward the end. Their last 3 rounds, I think, were Lewis. Watch him in the corner. See his right hand? He's holding and not letting. He's holding the rope and pushing Etienne back in the corner, which is technically illegal, which is why the referee warned him. Very sneaky move for an old veteran. Lewis is like, okay, come on, let's fight. And Etienne doesn't have to. He's winning the fight. He doesn't have to in the last round, and it behooves him not to.
And so this one goes the full 10 rounds, and we'll get it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr., who has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Don Ackerman, scores the bout 96-93. Judges Stephen Epstein and Robert Paolino both score the bout 97-93. All 3 in favor of the winner, the Black Rhino, Clifford Etienne.
So there you have it, no surprise. Clifford Etienne continues to climb back.
I had a 96-93 as well, but you know, there wasn't really a lot of room there.
And ladies and gentlemen, happening
for mistakes. Etienne was letting him back in the fight, but he had won enough rounds to put him in the bank. Even the 1 2-point round I gave him in round 6. I thought he couldn't lose the fight by decision after that without being knocked down at least a couple times.
Etienne now 5-0 since the embarrassing loss to Oquendo a little over a year ago. A victory tonight over veteran Terrence Lewis. Etienne 24-1 now. Lewis drops to 30-11. The question is, Bobby, was the win impressive enough to put Etienne back in heavyweight title contention and change people's feelings about him? Absolutely, unequivocally, not a chance. I don't think the fight was impressive. I thought he faded significantly in the second half of the fight. I think Terrence Lewis's stock in losing actually probably went up a lot, and he showed that he's a tougher opponent when he's in shape than he has in the past, and then he showed a better chin. Etienne did not show some of the things I thought he was going to show. His defense was still very lacking, although there was some extra movement. He got hit way too much from badly telegraph punches. All right, Bobby, let's hear what the guys have to say in the ring. Up to Larry Michael.
All right, thank you, Steve. Terrence, you came on strong at the end. If you had it to do over again, would you have a different strategy in this fight?
Yeah, I probably would start a little fast in the beginning, you know, because, you know, he had a lot of quick head movement. And, you know, I wasn't prepared for that, you know. Honest truth, I was prepared for him to run in there, and fight. You know, that's what I wanted to war, but he didn't oblige me. He boxed a little bit, but, you know, I thought I came out with at least a win or a draw. I mean, you know, I was pressing, I thought.
You sparred with him before. Does he hit harder now than when you fought him in the sparring sessions?
Well, when I spar, like I told people, I don't spar to kill, you know, or to be hurt. So, you know, I think he's pretty fair. I don't think he's that strong, but I thought I wanted to fight, you know, and I like the rematch and come back again.
You had him he had you in some trouble in the 7th round. Were you hurt badly at that point?
I was hurt. But you know what I'm gonna say. You know, the heavyweight division, you get hurt by one punch. You know, I thought I shook him up a couple times, and he lasted. And you know, hey, it was a hell of a fight, I thought.
It was a hell of a fight. Does this performance make you want to continue your career for many years to come?
Why would I give it up? I upset a lot of guys. That guy tough, man. You know, so I knew. I was in camp with him. You know, so I knew he was gonna bring a tough fight. Mr. J.C. Davis, I know trains him tough, so I knew what I was in for, and I knew I trained hard. I wasn't tired of nothing, but you know, his movement posed a problem. But like I said, I thought I gave him a little something. You know what I mean? But hey, what I'm gonna say? It's a Showtime fighter, baby. Hey, I want to come back. Let's do it again.
Great job, Terrence.
All right,
great job.
Thanks, baby.
All right. All right, let's bring Cliff in here. Cliff, you had him in some trouble in the 7th. Are you surprised he didn't go down at that point?
Yeah, I'm surprised, but you know, I mean, you got to be ready for anything. You know, I was ready to go the distance, even if I didn't knock him out and anything. You know, I had him hurt a few times. It wasn't just a 7, but I mean, he got a lot of heart. You know, you can't knock everybody out. You know, but I mean, he came on strong in the end. You know, and I lasted. Of course, you know, I have the heart and the mentality. Of, you know, you got to kill me. You know, I mean, you see that when I fought Fred. I mean, I got knocked down like 7 times. I got up every time, but this time, this fight here, you know, I'm not an excuse man, but it really hurt me a lot because I didn't spar 3 weeks before the fight. I had to stop sparring. You know,
why is that?
Because of a little knick-knack injury. But I was straight. It was just the sparring that really, you know, that really hurt me a little bit. I didn't get a chance to spar.
Cliff, what was the injury you had?
No, I don't know. I forgot.
No, he ain't gonna tell us, but he's gonna.
I was all right though. You didn't see me. You ain't see me. You know, I'm straight. You know, and I wasn't gonna say nothing before the fight.
All right, let's take a look at that 7th round when you hurt him pretty bad. I thought you were going to take him out. Tell me what you're seeing here.
That was a counter right hand. I've been thinking about shooting that punch when I saw the films on him, because I didn't really hit him with the right hands a lot when we sparred. But I watched the films on him, and you know, I rushed myself right there. I wanted to try to get him out, and I didn't really take my time and set up my shots. You know, and that's really ain't supposed to be. I ain't supposed to be inexperienced that much, but I mean, that's a little inexperienced move right now.
I know you're looking for redemption. You're still looking for redemption. Was this an impressive enough performance tonight to get you back to where you used to be before the Okenda fight?
Well, hopefully, you know, but I mean, I'm ready to take on all comers now. You know what I'm saying? I hope they take that, you know, in the Fred Etienne fight and look at it and, you know, kind of drop the corners and, you know, come on with it. You know, it'll be good. It'll be good for Showtime and it'll be good for boxing.
You say you're still learning things. What did you learn tidnight?
I learned to try to keep on winning. Don't go down, you know what I mean? What I really learned tonight, I don't know, I think my jab, you know, I didn't really learn it, but I know that the jab, you know, sets up everything, and you can really win a fight with a jab. It just confirmed that, you know, that I took my time. I boxed a little more little foot movement and everything, because I knew he wasn't ready for the foot movement. It wasn't a head movement, because when we sparred, I used to move my head all the time too before. But it was the foot movement too that gave him a lot of trouble, and he wasn't ready for that. He thought I was just going to stay in front of him.
Good job, man.
Thanks.
Black Rhino.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, sure.
Jacoly, Tiff, we done it, baby. I'll be home tomorrow. The video, everywhere, J. Paul, Chef and Wendell Brown.
And the girl at the movies in New Bern.
All right, there he is, the Black Rhino back in the winner's circle.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Let's go back to Steve.
All right, Larry, you want to say hello to anybody, Larry? Okay, Etienne told me yesterday, I asked him if he wanted a rematch with Okendo. He said he wants it, but Okendo doesn't. Those are the words of Etienne. Let's see how the scoring went for Etienne versus Lewis, the official ringside judges. Bobby?
I think they're all right in line. They're excellent. The scoring was terrific. That's pretty much how the fight was if you weren't watching.
And the press row scoring?
Press row, same thing. That's all right in the ballpark. That's all give or take one round. That's absolutely on the money.
Everybody had it unanimous for the Black Rhino, Clifford Etienne.
He basically just outworked Lewis for the majority of the fight. It's that simple.
All right, looking ahead, let's see what boxing coverage is coming up in the near future here on Showtime. Saturday, May 11th at 5 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, Showbox. The new generation returns with 2 bouts featuring 2 unbeaten rising boxers. Muhammad Abdullayev goes in a 10-round welterweight bout, and Ruslan Shagayev in an 8-round heavyweight attraction. Saturday, May 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, Showtime Championship Boxing presents the return of the Thunder from Down Under as champion Kos Tszyu battles #1 contender Ben Taki for the undisputed 140-pound title. And coming up on June 8th on pay-per-view, it's the World Heavyweight Championship as Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson face off in the fight everybody wants to see. 984 hours to Lewis Tyson. Here in New England tonight, the Black Rhino charges on. That'll do it for Mohegan Sun. For Bobby Ches, Larry Michael, our entire crew, Steve Albert saying so long from Uncasville, Connecticut.